Hey everybody, welcome back to X-Plane 11. I am Bill, that's 53176, and this is my updated Checkride cross-country flight. No, that is a blank screen of nothing. Damn it. Is that not popping up? That's unfortunate. Is that seriously not working? Oh, what the hell? All right, hang on. Oh, I know why. Because it's okay. Different problem. Still a problem, but just a different one than what I thought it was. There it is. All right, and here is my is my updated Checkride cross country. Awesome. So if you saw the first attempt at this, I have this cross-country flight that is John Wayne to Yuma, Arizona, which is, I think it's 180 miles straight shot, 180 nautical miles. No, actually it's less, significantly less than that. Why did I think it was 180? It's 148. I don't know why I thought it was more than that. Anyway, so 146 nautical miles straight line. But the catch on this is I have only 18 gallons of fuel to get there due to weight and balance constraints for some not small gentlemen that are flying with me in the plane as part of this scenario. For no other reason than just that's their actual weights that my DPE gave. And not, let me rephrase that. My DPE said, okay, we're taking me, you, this, and this other guy that we know is actually the owner of the plane. And our weights are respectively 205, 240, and 270 in a 172. So weight and balance restrictions leave us with only 18 gallons of usable fuel on board to make this flight, so we have to stop. And my original flight took us down all the way down here to IPL, Lima Papa Lima. I forget the name of that thing already. What is it? Imperial. And it's just not going to work. It's not going to give us enough range or enough fuel on board past that destination. So what I updated some calculations, and I came up with Borrego Valley Airport right here in Borrego Springs. It's just way out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, this is going to be, there's nothing out here. But what happened with the updated routing, instead of going south down here to the Julian VOR, we're going a little bit northeast, is I can actually go around these mountains that kept me up at 7,500 feet. So now I'm going to try this at 5,500, so we don't have as much to climb. We'll take 2,000 feet off of the climb out and go around that mountain into Borrego Valley. Yuma is cool if X-Plane is to be believed. I'll be back in a bit. Nice, Ryan. Yeah. Yeah, no, Yuma is a pretty cool airport. This is all scenario based. I'm not actually doing this. It's just the check ride, mind you, but I want to be able to, I mean, this is the perfect use for the simulator, is trying out a flight before you're planning it and see what kind of hazards might show up as a result of flying it in the simulator. So we'll see if this terrain is a little bit too tricky to fly around. You can see here this 5,700 foot peak. We're not actually going to fly into Mount Palomar. We're going to go around Mount Palomar, but just for the sake of simplicity on this route, we're just going to do that, and I'm going to actually fly through this valley right here like that. I just don't want to have that random GPS spot in there right now. So because we're climbing out 2,000 feet less than what we were before, we might be able to get our top of climb a little bit early and start our dead reckoning a little bit earlier as well. So I haven't finished those calculations yet. I just wanted to do this flight without the full Checkride Dead Reckoning stuff. So Borrego Valley, and 172 on PIlotEdge. See how it goes. And this is the rep pack 172 as well, which we're going to go into the weight and balance here and update the fuel load here. So there's 18 there. This is it's always a little weird. I don't know why it's so difficult to add numbers on here, but it is. Slapshooter 71, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. Oh yeah, that's because I don't want 18 on each side. That's what we have now. We need 9 on each side. It's 18 total. There you go. So 18 total keeps us just underneath max gross. We got 205, 240, 270, and 16 pounds worth of bags. And we're going to apply that to the plane, and that should be good there. Now let's check out the maintenance. I think I want to recharge the battery, actually. Nope, it's fine. Transponder failed. No reason. All those look good. Okay. So that has been checked. Well, Slapshooter, thank you for joining. And this is the exact plane that I fly as well. It's a 172S. This is the exact livery and registration. The only thing different about this plane is the front nose pants. Front nose gear pants is removed on the plane for towing purposes. It gets tugged around a little bit. That sounds really bad. Let's get this thing started and make sure we're still logged into PIlotEdge. Yep, still logged into PIlotEdge. And let's go through our startup checklist procedure. Fuel is on both. Fuel cutoff is in. Mixture is out. Throttle is out. Lights are all off. Batteries, alternator are off. Mags are off. Welcome back, Neuromancer. All right, so now we are going to make sure the parking brake is set. We're going to turn on the battery and alternator. We're going to turn on the beacon, and that will be flashing on the tail here. You can see that. And it lets everybody know around that operations will be beginning soon. Okay, once we have that, we're going to get this thing primed. So we're going to go crack the throttle a little bit, and we're going to put the mixture full in and hit the fuel pump. We'll see, we're looking at the fuel flow right here. We just want to make sure that there's fuel flowing through that. So we're going to turn on the pump now. 1, 2, 3. You can see it goes up to about 5 gallons per hour. That is primed. Now we're going to pull the mixture all the way back. And we're going to look at the prop here. Yellow clear prop. And get ready to hit the starter and give it some gas. Okay. As soon as it catches, hit the mixture. Rigorian, I'm absolutely fantastic, man. How are you doing today? Okay, let's get avionics coming on there, and we'll get our taxi lights on, nav lights on here. Let's see what the real world weather is at the moment and see if we're gonna run into any issues there. Come on, give me John Wayne. There we go. So John Wayne is METAR broken 22 temperature. Okay, so that looks like it's fine for. We can leave it on real world weather. Manually configured, so let's go real world, and that will update. And cloud should change here in about a second. There we go. All right. Well, Neuromancer, it's all good, man. I'm glad you're able to stop in for a little bit. Let's get this deleted as well. Need that, but we will take a little bit of GPS there. Okay. Let's go to Scratchpad and let's get our departure here. Them's my shoes. Happy Friday. Nice startup. I learned how to do that in the Rep 172 from watching you. Nice. Couldn't get it at first. Was was overcomplicating it. Well, I'm glad I was able to help at all. That is that's icing on the cake. You guys helped me figure this stuff out so much that if there's anything you can learn.
2000 broken.
That's awesome.
Temperature 18. Dew point 12. Altimeter 29er. Arriving and departing runways 20 left, 20 right. Visual approaches in use. VFR departures, contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read the call runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Romeo.
Information Romeo. Cool.
John Wayne Airport, ATC information Romeo. 01.
Okay, 2185 is clearance delivery. Okay, and we're going to be 080 heading at or below 3000. Departure frequency 281. And we're going to squawk something. I know that just because I've had to do this so many times. No, it looks like it, though, doesn't it, Fatal? I tried to get that out, and it would not. It just doesn't. It's not having it. I don't know why. Like, I literally worked on it for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, why is it making my lips look so freaking red? See, that doesn't even work. Yeah, but it's not even oversaturated. Look, because this is like barely, like my skin is totally pale. It's like gray. What that? Go outside more. Dude, I'm tan as hell, man. Southern Mediterranean skin. I'm just wearing lipstick. It's just that's really funny that of course it was you, Fatal, that picked that out. I did try. It does look really stupid though, doesn't it? It looks really stupid. Let's see what happens if I do this. It's like it like stays. Should I just keep the camera like this?
Hey, bird. Whoa, buddy.
Quasar, thank you so much for 15 months, man. That is completely insane. I really, really appreciate it. Holy crap. There you go. I think we're just gonna have, I think it's just gonna be red. I don't know how to fix it. You could just like chroma key them out. Thank you, Quasar. You think my shirt is putting the colors out of whack? Well, that's what I was originally... Not that I want to like work on this a whole lot because I really don't care. But yeah, the white balance is what I was changing. So this is the white balance. It looks ridiculous. I think it's partially the light, because if I turn my head like this, you can see it's like red on my ear and on my nose here. Something is on automatic and I don't want it to be on automatic. I don't like that. Oh, maybe... Yeah, let's fly. But I think it could be... It's not that. That's as good as it's going to be right there. Lipstick stream, engage. Alright, anyway, now that we're warmed up, right, we've got plenty of warm oil running through our engine. Let's make sure we also have this going. Bobble Bill is ready to go. Seems really quiet over the frequency. John Wayne clearance, good evening. Skyhawk 53176, information Romeo, like flight following to Borrego Valley 5500.
Skyhawk 53176, John Wayne clearance, good evening. On departure, turn left heading 080, maintain VFR at below 3000, departure frequency 128.1, squawk 4032.
On departure, that's left heading 080 out of below 3000, 128.1, squawking 4032, 53176.
Feedback correct.
Eugene is quiet tonight. Alright, let's get that situated there. 080 is actually already in
Tower, TPM, November 13 Whiskey,
there,
and
let's go
right
for 032.
TPM 13 Whiskey, Tower, turn right, direct BART, runway 21 right at Foxtrot 1, clear for takeoff.
Okay, now let's go
right, direct BART,
20.8,
and
get
clear
to
for
ground.
takeoff. 21 right at Foxtrot 1, November 13 Whiskey.
Jumping ground, Skyhawk 53176, ACI West with Romeo, taxi to tower run up.
Skyhawk 53176, Julian Tower, run up, taxi via Bravo.
Run up via Bravo 53176. $18 gallons total usable fuel, clear to the right, clear to the left. That is not a lot of gas. So the last stream when I tested this out, I was not very good on the leaning, because I don't really think about it too much in the sim because fuel is never really an issue. So, you know, if I wait to lean it out until I'm leveled off at 7,500 feet, I don't really care because it's just not, just whatever. But this one, I should have been a little bit more careful on the mixture because we got pretty close on the fuel once we actually got to our destination. So this one,
approaching runway 02 left.
This one I'm going to be
20 right.
more careful and look at the actual fuel flow a little bit better.
Turn right into the gate.
Okay, so we got left,
Turn right to the gate, northwest,
we got right.
Northwest 1524, it would have been a bad on the I3, but I don't sure having I1 or I2 in the system, so the computer won't let me submit it.
Okay, thanks. Southwest on the way into the model. I'll do that. Thanks. Northwest 1524.
1800.
No problem.
Good drop there. Good drop there. Check temperatures, look good. Temp, pressure, vacuums, amps. Got fuel flow. Check idle.
Cessna Skyhawk 204. Fuck.
TBM 13.
Kenny, happy Friday.
Departure 13 Whiskey.
Let's get it back up there. Alright. Nice. Quick and easy little run up. Giant ground, Skyhawk 53176, continue.
Skyhawk Skyhawk 176, runway 20 right at Juliet, taxi via Bravo Juliet.
Gentlemen, can we actually request 20 left for departure 53176?
Skyhawk 176, runway 20 left at Kilo, taxi via Bravo Kilo, hold short of runway 20 right.
Bravo Kilo 20 left, hold short 20 right at Kilo 53176. Eugene Eugene does like to do that. He'll send me off at Juliet 20 right, which is great. Like if you're not trying to replicate the real world situations and procedures at John Wayne, I'd much rather take off at Juliet right there. But that's not what they do in the real world, so I'm going to request the actual procedures from him versus taking what he gives me, which is although very nice, not a realistic thing to have ATC tell you. But it would be nice. Intersection takeoff would be fine. So we are at total max gross here. And
November 09 above 4G, can you make that appropriate with altitude? Going eastbound, you need to be at odd altitude plus 500, so that's 5,500 or 7,500 would be appropriate.
Well, it's not the 20 right is not the issue, it's the Juliet. The 20 right, we've gotten 20 right departures for, you know, that 080 heading. Not very often. I think only once actually. But it's the Juliet, the intersection at Juliet is not gonna happen. John Wayne Tower, good evening. Skyhawk 53176 holding short 20 right at Kilo.
Skyhawk 53176, John Wayne Tower, cross runway 20 right at Kilo, runway 20 left at Kilo, clear for takeoff.
Crossing 20 right at Kilo, clear for takeoff 20 left at Kilo 53176.
November 09 Kilo, contact Los Angeles Center, 135.5.
Keeping us on 26.8, which is cool, so we'll get the strobe on. Clear left, clear to the right. Let's get...
TBM 13 Whiskey, Yuma departure, via contact, climb and maintain, flight level 230.
Yoke back up here so we hit this bump.
And TBM 13 Whiskey,
it's a massive bump on the
there can only be
right
136 in your call sign.
Once we're on the other side here, I'll hit the mixture. So there's mixture.
But you should never say
we are going to
TBM
floor it.
That's two prefixes at once.
Approaching runway 20 left.
November 130, November Alpha, traffic 1 o'clock, 3 miles southbound, altitude indicates 4,500.
What's up, Dr. Ocean? There's our buddy right there.
November 209 Kilo, Los Angeles Center, climb and maintain 7,000, bus aerobic altimeter 3010.
Okay. Not a lot of centerline happening right now. There's 55.
John Wayne clearance delivery, Cessna Skyline, November 960, Romeo radio check, please.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear, small tank.
Turning out right over ACI. That's where the oral's going to be, right in that building right there downstairs. Climbing almost over my office.
I have 176 ready contact, so-called departure.
Going over to departure 53176, see ya. 080. Yeah, engine sounds pretty nice, right? SoCal departure, Skyhawk 53176, 700, climbing 3000.
Skyhawk 53176, so-called departure, cancel altitude restriction.
Canceling altitude restriction, going up to 5,500, 53176. So only altitude, we're going to stick with 080. Also, not necessarily a realistic thing to have happen, because we're not in jeopardy of busting that altitude restriction before we get released anyway. But SoCal will usually release you at this point, regardless. We're on ONAV at this point anyway. Flight training is going great, Borg. I've got my check ride towards the end of the month, which I am extremely excited for, and preparing for that right now. This is the cross-country, the Checkride cross-country that I'm checking out right now. So I'm not actually going to fly this whole thing, probably fly the first 20 minutes of it maybe, but I still want to fly it for planning purposes. Isn't that part of the beauty of this? Oh, yeah, oh, for sure, yeah. I just don't, yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily in danger of getting used to anything. It's just, like, they're not gonna do this. And it's less of a procedural thing on my end and more of just like, all right, they wouldn't send you from Juliet. SoCal would release you by this point. That's...
I'm happy either way. I can just keep you at 7 for the
no, that's all.
or if you prefer to go to 8 now, we can
does using a simulator help with your school? It helps immensely.
Roger, climb and maintain 8,000.
It has saved me so much time and money, it's insane.
I have 176, resume on navigation.
Oh, now 53176. Okay, so I'm gonna get this bug here, and I'm gonna get on heading mode, and then vertical speed. We're gonna keep our vertical speed right now. Are you more relaxed for the check ride than the solo, or still nervous, excited? Oh, there's no comparing between the two. The check ride is way more nerve-wracking than I ever was for soloing. Yeah, this is like the real deal. So it's yeah, pretty crazy, the level of anxiety for this. Really, to be honest. So again, I'm not really doing a good job on maintaining speed here. I was trying to climb out at 500 feet per minute, and it was showing me at 90 knots, so it's still got a little bit more performance. So I'm gonna, just in the interest of flying on the autopilot, I'm going to use vertical speed and just kind of monitor this. I wouldn't say, I didn't feel like it was just another flight. It's still nerve-wracking, but there's a lot more hinging on the check ride than the solo flight. The solo flight is a lot more limited in scope, so there's a lot less preparation that you have to worry about, because you're really just focusing on the fundamentals of landing the airplane, which at this is not reacting very quickly, is it? There's just fewer things to have to. This thing is gonna fucking stall. Come down. I'm asking you to come down. You're at 200 feet per minute. The autopilot on this only does feet per minute. It's not tied to the airspeed, so I can't just set an airspeed and be done with it. So again, I haven't checked my calculations for the top of climb. Doesn't appear like we're going to be at 5,500 in time. There's the VOR, the El Toro VOR. So I'm kind of thinking I'm going to use El Toro as my first checkpoint. You seem a lot more fluent and confident since I started watching you. Well, Kenny, thank you. I mean, I've definitely learned a lot since then. So, see, now it's just like yodeling back and forth. What did you use for ground school? Killer Popcorn? I used M0A boot camp, the written boot camp. I did the ground school, a combination of my instructor and self-taught, I guess. Self-study.
2462
That's what I actually
TV1
meant to say. So, yeah, the boot camp was basically preparing me for the test itself and giving me a rough guide on what to study for it. And then I would just kind of fill in the gaps any way possible. Is that why you say see ya at the end? See ya!
TBM 13 Whiskey Los Angeles Center, climbing and maintain, flight level 260.
See, my airspeed is like all out of whack
Skyliner
here.
960 Romeo,
I wanted to just be continuing to climb out at 75 knots, and it doesn't
flight heading
do that.
230, ready access to Seal Beach,
I'm just
then
going
smile,
to
maintain 2000,
fudge it for now,
4,000,
and then
departure.
look at the
Departure
math
frequency
a little bit
128.1,
later and find out
squawk
exactly where
7461.
that top of climb is going to be and what is going to be in play for my checkpoints. I used Jason a few years ago, but life got in the way, so now I'm back in the saddle, full steam. Nice, Killer Popcorn. That's awesome, dude. Life has a bad habit of getting in the way, but I'm glad things have calmed down and you're back into it.
Verify initial altitude to maintain is 2000. Rest of it deck is correct.
Okay, so worst case scenario, excuse me. Worst case scenario will be top of climb around Lake Forest here, and I need to see out my window a checkpoint potential. So we have this lake right here. I don't know the name of that one, but that's an easy one to spot. If we can get that identified, that would be good. Lake Mission Viejo should be coming up as well.
I think every time I had to repeat myself 2 to 3 times for you. If you miss one more call, I'm going to have to call it a non-passing grade on the Cat 5. Contact British for the bridge, 118.8.
Get him.
November 09 Kilo, contact Oakland Center, 128.7. Have a good night.
Alright. Mixture is set, and we're at under 8 gallons per hour. Still a little bit on the slow side because our RPMs are a little bit slow. I think I planned for 2,500.
Bigfoot approach, Skyhawk 130.
So there's 9. That's exactly what I had planned for. 8.5. And I don't think we're gonna get under 12.
Altimeter 3013, again the altitude.
The RAV. Checkride is on the 22nd, but weather isn't looking good. Bummer, dude. We'll get the oral done and just reschedule when the weather's nice. I know it's easier said than done, but congrats, man. That's awesome.
Watch the birdie.
Hello, Iowa. Happy Friday. That's a reservoir right there. And then I don't know if we're going to be able to see Kodo. Yeah, there it is off the right. So I could actually use that. That's not a bad. Off the right side of the plane. It's not ideal, but I can at least see that because it's so long. Okay, so there's Kodo. So we have a couple of lakes, and we've got Kodo. Those are a couple of good dead reckoning spots. I'm doing fantastic. Working on a new Checkride cross-country flight plan, and I am liking it so far. Yeah, the lakes are good references. The tricky part is there's a couple of lakes that kind of all look the same in this area. Lake Mission Viejo, which we flew directly over, I think. This lake right here, this is a little reservoir, and there is a couple of really good restaurants right on that lake, right where this is depicted right here, and that's actually pretty damn close to what it looks like. That's a grocery store, that big building on the right there. So that one I could pick out that. Rancho Santa Margarita, I can pick those out. So that could work. I just have to pick stuff that's closer to, I guess, more north. Nab, PP, Nab. Happy Friday, man. What's up? It's just Nab. You got it. You got it, man. How much, man? How's your Friday going? Hello, Ro.
We fly runway heading until reaching 800 feet, then turn left, heading 200. Red access to Seal Beach, Venice 5.
All right, this is for flight.
5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 1.
And you can't really tell here, so the TAC chart will be better for actually picking those locations out. Well, I'll have to see, man. Like, I don't know really the best way to do that. Rancho Santa Margarita, because it's got to be on the chart, because you have to have a way to measure it. But I don't know. So that's I still have some more work to do on that. Lake Elsinore is another one. So getting Lake Elsinore over my wing, just to beam my wing, will be a nice checkpoint as well. It'll be a little bit further of a checkpoint, but as long as I maintain a good course, we should be okay. And this is the mountain. This is Mount Palomar, and that's 5,700 feet, and that's what we're going to actually go around. So this flight is not very long. That's how pathetic our fuel load is. We're just going to basically be on the other side of that little mountain right there. But we're in a 172, so getting there will take a little bit longer. Yeah, NAB. Planning for the Checkride. So all of this is just a scenario. I'm not actually going to be flying this, but in order to get a better idea on what to plan for and to be, to be able to speak about this flight a little bit more intelligently with some first-hand knowledge, I want to spend as much time briefing it in the simulator, because why not? This is a perfect use for that.
Sky 176 contact, Sogla Bridge 135.4.
135.4, 53176. And I missed that question, and the answer is SoCal approach. Good evening, Skyhawk 53176, 5,500.
Skyhawk 53176, local approach, March altimeter 3000.
3000, 53176, thank you. Yeah, so the turquoise line is the glide ratio, and it takes into account terrain as well. So you can see off to like at the 1 o'clock position there, that's where the terrain falls away, and you can glide further. And where it's shorter here, to my like 2 o'clock, 2:30, it's showing you this hill right there. So there's Lake Elsinore, and I want to get that thing like directly abeam my window. just right in the middle of it. I think that's probably a good spot as well. So there's a beam right there, and I'll be able to spot that pretty easily. So that's a good one. That's the interesting thing about Dead Reckoning is it is, although you're timing things and you're being very precise in terms of distance and how long what your speed is, how long it's going to take you to go from point to point at a given speed. But your actual flying track may not be very precise because you're kind of, I don't want to say meandering, but you're going from like potentially big checkpoints to big checkpoints, like stuff that you know that you'll be able to spot from the air. So if you're flying, all right, so we're going from a beam like Elsinore to French Valley. So instead of flying a GPS going direct to French Valley, I want to be like off of French Valley a little bit. So I need to I want my track to be 087. So if I fly, I mean even a little bit more than that, just to make it easy. If we say 090, let's just say 090. Keep us a beam. So 090. If we go here, well, I guess we were at 090. Lined up. We might have a little procession here. We do. Yeah, we do. All right, so there's 090. So instead of going directly to French Valley, I want French Valley to be like off my wing because I want to see it and be able to identify it easily. If I fly directly over it, how do you know when you're directly over? Obviously an airport is easier to gauge that with, but not everything is that way. I see, that's why people off to the left or right of a direct heading, so it's easier to see reference. Yeah, it's to see whatever you're using, and that's not the case for everything, but for something like Dead Reckoning like this, you want it to be something you can easily see and that you're not going to be flying directly over, because it gets really annoying really quickly, and it's the higher you get, it actually becomes more difficult to spot because the angle that you're able to see becomes steeper. So it's like by the time you're 5 miles from a point, it's going to be hidden under your nose, so now you can't see it at all. So how do you know if a water tower is directly below you? If it doesn't have an extended center line like an airport or like a really long private golf course like Rancho Santa Margarita. So if I'm trying to be a beam of French Valley, there it is right there. So I want French Valley to be over my left wing, and I can see it right there. Like I said, this is probably one of the exceptions because it's really pretty easy to see an airport that you're directly over, especially at this altitude. We rated the gallery, including ho-hos. Oh, the galley. And got dirty looks from the hotel staff. Could be the smell of the
coming from the north or is it northwest?
I see a lot of planes fly to the left or right of major highways that run
downwind, runway 30 left, report mainfield.
Yeah, so if you're using a freeway to navigate, you don't want to fly directly above it. You want to fly directly, parallel to it. So, when you're flying like this, you can look down and go, there's the freeway. Now, if that was directly below, you couldn't see that. But since we're off to the side of it, you can see it, and you just pick a spot on the plane, and you keep the freeway right off the little step, or right off your main gear. So this is working out nice because we're, not directly over it. We're not too far abeam that it's, taking us out of our way. But that's plenty good to spot. we need glass bottom planes. You could. I mean, there's not much between you and. Oh, I shouldn't say that because there's a lot of cables
departure,
running
Cessna
through here.
Skyline 9060 Romeo.
Yeah, never mind. Let's say you could. It's just
1400
aluminum, but there's 2
2000.
sheets of aluminum basically and all the cabling for the controls are in here. So never mind. But you could. And some.
Maintain 4060 Romeo.
I flew in a 1940 something Ryan that had like big cutouts on the side. Right here. How far out do you usually contact approach? How far out from what?
SoCal departure 333 Juliet Sierra 2.5 for 3000 heading 200.
Because I would contact approach as soon as possible to get flight.
Climate maintain 7003 Juliet Sierra.
Skyline 60 Romeo, clear direct popper.
Clear direct pop.
Oh, certain answers. Yeah, Dr. Ocean had a good answer. It just depends on what the scenario is. You don't necessarily need to 20 miles out. I mean, you could be. I mean, I'm not 20 miles out. You know, when we're heading back to John Wayne, we're. I guess you could call that 20. But I mean, we're in here. We're flying around 10 miles out in the practice area. So if we dropped flight following out in the practice area, I mean, you can fly right here. I mean, you could be 7 miles from, and in fact, you could be underneath the Charlie, flying around in Colorado. So there's not, like, it just depends on the scenario. If you're traveling to, you know, the further out you call them to get flight following in, the better it is to avoid traffic. But it's not. I don't think it's as exact as like a tower. You know, you obviously need to be talking with somebody before you enter their airspace, and like 10 miles is a pretty good range to do that. Approach. I know the clearance calls when you can go in and out, but I don't know what a good distance was before entering. Yeah. Well, that's kind of my point, Ryan. Is or as early as possible. Like there's no, to me, there's no reason why you shouldn't be on with them if you're planning on entering in a Class Charlie airspace at it anyway. Just pick it up as soon as you can. Alright. Let's go to that mode. Let's 5-4 Charlie Lima. Let's see if the nearest will help us out. 5-4 Charlie Lima. There we go. Let's go direct. Enter. And then we can go to GPS and nav. And now that's going to take us directly to that little airport. Little Lake Riverside, little cutie. During my check ride, there was a Tersa about 7 to 8 airports under it on a beautiful Saturday morning. It was insanely busy. That's exciting. Well, this is the part that I'm curious about terrain. It seems to be fine on the chart,
264 radio of Oceanside,
but
inbound Oceanside through shows here.
finding out what it really looks like will help. We're going to have to avoid a couple of knowns. valley that we're gonna try to follow. This will be very interesting. Okay, as soon as we hit this airport, which we're coming up to here, 10 miles out. Once we hit that, we're gonna stay on this heading, and then there's a valley that's gonna drop us down, and I think that it's this valley right here. I think we're gonna follow that ridge straight down.
November Zero November Alpha pass the cut
Should
5, cross
see
runway
if the airport is
30
even
right at Foxtrot,
depicted.
taxi via Alpha this frequency, have a good day.
Yeah, it looks like that's the airport right there. Little private field. So that's we're gonna go just to the left of that.
November 3 Juliet Sierra, John Wayne Altimeter 3000.
003 Juliet Sierra.
Fuel flow, so
Skyline 60 Romeo, traffic 10 o'clock, 3 miles northbound, converging, altitude indicates 3,500.
Looking for the traffic 60 Romeo.
Skyhawk 176, contact Los Angeles Center, 128.6.
128.6, 176. LA Center, good evening, Skyhawk 53176, 5,500.
Skyhawk 53176.
Chandler, yeah, the plane is almost identical to this. So it has a KLN 94.
134.9.
94, 95. Not that it really matters, but 94. Yeah, KLN 94. So it's similar. It was like the pre 430. So it's very similar to the 430 functionality-wise, and then it has an MFD that looks like this. So it actually looks very similar.
Maintain VFR at below 2,500 until advised. Departure frequency 134.2.
So it looks very similar to this stack, even though it's not a double Garmin system, but then everything else is identical.
November 7 Skibamba squawk 1512.
Here's our little airport right there. Little gravel cutie. And then just right through here.
November 7 Skibamba, no need to contact 134.2 just yet. That will be your departure frequency after takeoff. The rest of it is correct.
One of the best driving roads in SoCal is on that mountain. Actually see some. Look at that. Crazy.
United 1235, Las Vegas clearance, clear to San Francisco Airport, Shed 1 departure, carrier transition, when filed, climb BAC, departure frequency 125.9. Squawk 2605.
So far, so good. We obviously can't go that direction at this altitude. That would take us direct to the airport. So we're going through this valley. Just hanging out, 5,500.
TBM 13 Whiskey, contact Las Vegas approach 118.4.
18-4, TBM 13 Whiskey.
So what do we AGL right now?
TBM 13 Whiskey, Las Vegas approach, Henderson altimeter 3008.
7400 feet, so we're 2000 AGL right now.
Expect visual approach, runway 35 left.
And what do we...
TBM 13 Whiskey, information, X-rays current at Harrison.
So we might be at 2000 to 2500 minimum AGL, so that's pretty good. There's a weird wildlife there. That's It's like Borrego Valley, the airport is actually inside of a
TBM 13 Whiskey, if you depart, Lindsay heading to 80, vector for visual approach, runway 35 left.
Check it out. So there's this wilderness area
80 heading to 80
that is all the way around the airport. Just goes all the way around. Whole area. It's all over
Juliet
there.
Sierra, contact local approach 119.6. Calin 60 Romeo, advise we have government information Alpha and your approach request.
See what the winds are here, even though we don't have AWAS 340 at 4. But we'll be landing 26.
Calin 60 Romeo, frequency change approved.
And let's see, it's just
TBM 333 Juliet Sierra, local approach, Ramona altimeter 3000, advise when you have information Romeo, expect visual approach, runway 27.
so our traffic pattern is pattern altitude is 1500. We have a lot of altitude to drop. Right traffic for 8, so left for 26. Alright, so we're left traffic for 26. We're gonna cross over and enter downwind. We're still tracking pretty nice here, and then we're gonna shoot this
TBM 13 Whiskey, descend and maintain
this
7000.
valley, I think. Okay.
Calin 60 Romeo, Roger, depart Santa Monica, heading 300, vector to Silex, expect ILS approach.
I'm gonna have to do this flight for real after the check ride. I'm gonna be so immersed in this flight. I'm gonna want to just actually do it. Hopefully there's a restaurant or
Calin 60
something.
Romeo, left of
out
Santa
there.
Monica, depart Santa Monica, heading 300, vector to Silex.
I should check. There's got to be a restaurant out there, right? All right, yeah, this is pretty cool. Still good on altitude.
Skyhawk 93 Golf for the I-7, clear to Avalon Airport. Via fly
Look at this. This goes, just shoots straight down the valley.
When filed, maintain 2000, expect 4000.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mini Bobble Bill, bobbling away. Yeah, that thing is awesome. Yeah, these valleys definitely have the potential to create turbulence, and it's actually depicted on the chart. There's a warning about the turbulence created by these mountains. Winds are 4 knots, so there's not much happening right now. Now it's showing winds calm, so I would say that it's pretty minimal what you're going to get right now. But for sure, if the winds were pretty high, you'd want to probably not do this. We're going to Borrego Valley.
Skyline 60 Romeo, contact local approach 134.2.
This is working nice.
CBN 13 Whiskey Harrison Airport, 2 o'clock and 2 miles report inside.
Plenty of clearance as well for our wilderness area. Oh, this is super pretty. Wow. That is awesome. Yeah, this is the Checkride route, the Checkride cross country. Half of it, actually. I'm not actually going to fly this except for maybe the first 20 minutes of it. But I wanted to test out my flight plans in the sim. And then we'll start our descent. We're coming up to about 10 miles outside of the airport, so let's kill the flight following. LA Center, Skyhawk 53176, we'd like to terminate flight following.
Skyhawk 53176. Blanca, VFR, change to advisory frequency approved. Have a good day.
Have a great night. Changing to advisories 53176. See ya. Okay, 22.8. Borrego Valley, Skyhawk 53176, 10 miles to the northeast, inbound through the valley. Enter overhead, enter left downwind for 26, Borrego Valley. Too bad the valley isn't wider. It'd be fun to fly below the tops, but I'm guessing you would be flying a bit. Yeah. Winds are calm. I mean, it's calm right now, but this route is kind of dependent on the winds, but assuming that they are too dramatic. We're outside of an airplane. It's loud. All right, let's kill that. See if we can get... Oh, there's the airport. Nice and flat. That's great. Let's go. Yeah, this is cool. That's a cool valley. Nice, fuel's looking nice. We're gonna have 10 gallons. I can't help that this thing is straight piped. Decat, catback. Crossover. 6. Brago Valley, Skyhawk 53176, 8 miles to the northeast. Entering, crossing over, entering left downwind 26, Brago. Wow, look at that. Those mountains look so freaking cool. Ever gut a cat? Like an actual cat or a catalytic converter? I haven't actually myself, but I have dealt with blown out cats and helped repack some, but I haven't actually like tore open one. It's a mess though. Even the new packing is a mess. Brago Valley, Skyhawk, 5 miles to the northeast, Brago Valley. Have you ever gut a cat? Okay, 1500. Sorry, 1500. That's a little bit better. When you were in college, put a turbo kit in my little VW. Pounded the guts out of the catalytic converter. Yeah, we've had to repack some before. Blown out cats are... My Alpha actually, the cat failed on that and it was spitting up crap all over the place. Actual honeycombs like shooting out the muffler. So about that whole hey, I should fly out here thing. Starting to rethink that, unless there's like a really cool little like diamond in the rough restaurant out here. Yikes. This is a bunch of yikes. Borrego Valley, Skyhawk is crossing over midfield, entering left downwind for 26. Borrego. What the hell is out here? What is that? It's the golf. Is it just a random little golf course? We're a little bit high on the pattern altitude. Yeah, we might have a good departure sequence. Borrego Valley, Skyhawk, turning left downwind 26, Borrego. Do some rattlesnake hunting. I'll have to look up this airport online and see if there's any like cool restaurants or anything. Borrego Valley, Skyhawk turning left base 26 Borrego. For that new rep update so we can get some drag on these flaps. Borrego Valley, Skyhawk turning final
500.
Borrego 26. What's up, Cessna? It's a big ass pattern. Yeah, look at those mountains. Jeez. This is a weird ass airport. Holy crap. This would be a pretty fun adventure, though, in real life to fly out here. Land nice and long so we don't have to taxi. Is that fuel? Yeah, I think that's fuel. You'd have to go nose down for 217. Yeah, 217 in this thing is gonna break something. Borrego Valley traffic, Skyhawk clear of 26, taxiing to the pumps, Borrego. Do you put the flaps up while on the runway and the real one? Yes, I put the flaps up immediately as I touch down. Poor little Bill can't hold his head upright. He's just dramatic. That King Air is in a very bad spot as well. Lights coming off, beacon coming off, avionics coming off. Let's also get these ones coming off. And yeah, so Ryan, and some people probably, I mean, if your CFI wants you to put the flaps up when you exit, that's fine. But because the argument is it keeps, like, there's drag, so it's going to slow you down. But what the flaps are actually doing is creating lift as well as drag. And when you're already slowing down. If you're slowing down enough to touch down, you don't need, like, you're going slow enough to continue to slow down. And what you're going to be using to slow down even further is your brakes. So pulling the flaps up immediately is going to decrease the lift, which is going to basically put some compression into the gear and onto the tires. So you've got a better tire contact with the runway, so the brakes will become more effective. And then once you've done that and you start slowing down, you pull, like I pull back on the yoke to get the elevator up. I don't know if you can see that over my head. And use that as aero braking. Now it's keeping the nose up a little bit, but I have the power idle, so there's not going to be much prop wash over the tail, and you've got less lift on the wings. You've got more you got more tire contact pressure for the brakes, and you've got some aero braking on the elevator. So that is that's how I do it. If you land long, you want the drag. If you land long, you want the drag. If you're going to do a touch and go, bring them up. And if you're fast, bring them up and keep the nose up. Well, that actually brings up another good point, Ro, is if you touch down and immediately raise the flaps up, if you, for whatever reason, have to go around, that's one less thing you have to do. Because if you initiate that go around with the flaps down, you're not going to be able to accelerate and get up out of there quick enough. So that's another reason to bring the flaps up right away. And if you're going to land long where you're going to need extra drag with the flaps down, I would say go around anyway. Flaps up, go around. So that's what Brad and I have done. I've seen that in a few places. I know a lot of people wait and said they do it so they don't hit the land. Oh, I noticed a lot of people wait and said they do it so they don't hit the landing gear, or is that something else I'm thinking of, like cleaning up other stuff? I'm not sure, Killer Popcorn. Or put the spoilers up and kick the RTs when you care less about the flaps till you exit the runway. Yeah. Well, and an airliner as well, like you have another person to bring the flaps up as well. So you're, if you're touched down and you've got to go around for whatever reason, I mean, at that point, if you're an airliner, I don't know how many times you're going to go around when you've actually touched down. But let's just say for whatever reason, there's something on the runway and you have you got to go around. You're going full power and your FO is putting flaps to whatever, and then they're retracting. But with a little 172, you flip the. I mean, it's literally power idle, touchdown, flaps up. That's how I do it.